New data released today show that the U.S. housing market and job market both showed signs of trouble, with home sales falling to their lowest level on record and jobless claims rising higher than expected. Here's what you need to know. Home sales hit a low in January. It was a tough month. Ridiculously high mortgage rates and rising home prices made buying a home an unachievable goal for working class people. Pending home sales, which track signed contracts for existing homes, fell by almost 5% from December and hit their lowest level since 2001. Affordability remains the biggest issue. Mortgage rates are now above 7%, making it harder for buyers to even afford homes. While home prices have started to ease in some areas, they are still way higher than last year. Meanwhile, the job market also took a hit. Unemployment claims rose to 242,000, up from 22,000 from the previous week. This is the highest number of claims since October 2024. One major factor is all the job cuts from the Trump administration and Elon's Department of Government Efficiency, which has already cut tens of thousands of government jobs, and more layoffs are expected. In Washington, D.C., new unemployment claims jumped 26% in a week. While home sales are struggling and jobless claims are rising, other economic indicators are mixed. Orders for durable goods like airplanes, appliances, and computers jumped 3.1% in January, suggesting businesses may be preparing for future growth. However, inflation remains a concern, with prices still rising at a steady pace, making everyday items more unaffordable. With high interest rates, job cuts happening, and tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China set to take effect in March, the worst of the economic pain is yet to come.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. If you are here, it means you are trying to figure out what the heck is going with the economic right now. Home sales at their lowest since 2001. Mortgage rates are sky high and jobless claims just spiked. Real estate agents are turning down listings in Florida because no one is buying, and construction job opening just had the biggest drop in history. Sounds bad, right? Well, some say this isn't just the system working exactly as intended. So in today's video, we are breaking it all down. Why can't people afford homes? Why is the job market suddenly cracking? And most importantly, what does this mean for you? We will also dive into what people are saying online, from real estate insider to frustrated buyers to those who think capitalism itself is the real problem. So make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because, trust me, you don't want to miss this conversation. Let's get into it.
Never did I think I would have to do a video like this. Real estate agents are actually turning down listings in Florida. Why? Inventory has just exploded. They have so many listings, and guess what? No one's coming to the open houses. No one's calling. No one's making offers. They're at a point now where they're like, why take on more listings if I can't even sell the ones that I already have? Are we going to start to see this move on as inventory climbs? What good are listings? And you know why they say they're having no activity? Because the homeowners refuse to bring the price down considerably to where that home would sell. I've been a salesperson all my life. To me, that's weak sauce that you're putting up houses that you know are not going to sell. So I commend you for saying, I'm not taking any more. But why did it take you 16, 15, 16 houses to determine that the homeowner is not letting you drop the price? You should have told them from the get-go. Look, I'm only going to list it if we list it at this price. If not, you can go with somebody else. It's not like you're going to make any money off of it. You would have gave yourself a better opportunity had you dropped that price considerably to sell that home. Let's keep our eyes on this because this is super interesting and I'd love to see it.
Happy Monday. Another eventful week ahead. Here's the national market update. Pending home sales, they slipped just over 4% in January, but the National Association of Realtors noted that it's unclear if the coldest January in 25 years contributed. If so, expect greater sales activity in upcoming months. That's good, right? Weather could also explain the 10% drop in January new home sales, as the South saw record low temperatures and record high snowfalls. However, the median sales price is down 3% and supply is up 270% since 2022. This week, we're going to see construction spending, manufacturing, service, and jobs. January construction spending should come in as the same as December. Both ISM manufacturing and ISM services are forecast to show economic expansion in February. Economists, they're going to be predicting that February gains in non-farm payrolls and in average hourly earnings and no increase to the unemployment rate. Oh yeah, and on Friday, Jerome Powell is going to give another speech. That should be interesting. What he says can dictate the market, can move mortgage rates up or down.
So why can no one afford a house anymore, and why is no one doing anything to fix the problem? Well, the simple explanation is because there's no problem to fix. Because the system is actually working exactly as intended. We could end the capital gains tax, put up rent controls, and stop negative gearing, and the housing market would stabilise in about 2 years. But this system will never ever do that, because the simple truth is our capitalist overlords don't want us to own a house. Because under this system, housing isn't a right, it's a commodity for maximising investments and profit for the rich. But more than that, capitalism sees a further upside to making sure you never own the house you live in, because if you're always obedient to your landlord, you will behave and be an obedient worker, or else, you'll end up homeless, right? They want you to be indebted, impoverished, and working forever, because then you are too busy surviving to rise up against this exploitive system. This system, funnily enough, has actually come full circle, because the feudal landlords became the first capitalists, and now the capitalist billionaires want to become feudal landlords. This system isn't broken, it's working exactly as intended, which is why eventually we're going to have to end this system. Anyway, something to think about.
Job openings have been falling off a cliff. We are starting to see the job market crack. And if we look at construction job openings, this has had the largest drop in history, almost down about 40% just in 1 month. What is interesting to note is last time we had a substantial drop in the job openings for construction specifically. This was at the peak in 2007 of the housing market. And funnily enough, it actually happened from the February to March timeframe where we had that substantial drop. And this is what has just happened again. I'm not sure if we are going to immediately see the housing market start to roll over, but my expectation since the beginning of the year has been a cool down in the second half of 2024. Everyone has been expecting multiple rate cuts this year, and now we are only pricing in one. Wouldn't be surprised if that actually goes to 0 once we start getting more unemployment numbers and inflation numbers coming out. So this enormous drop in job openings is essentially saying home builders are not seeing the demand that they have been over the last couple of years, and they no longer need to hire an enormous amount of employees. But this drop is very substantial. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and follow me for the side of real estate nobody talks about.
Y'all, please be sure you is using the government to help pay for your rent, especially if you can't afford it. It's okay. It is okay. I think we grew up in a time and an age where it was like, oh, we use food stamps. If you use this, then you poor. No, then I'm just getting help. Be sure, go on your local housing authority websites and try to figure out what you need to do to be qualified to get that. And sometimes a lot of y'all qualify, you just don't know because you're afraid to go up there. Bye.
So let's talk about what is happening in the US economy right now, because things are getting real. The housing market just hit its lowest point in over 20 years. Pending home sales dropped almost 5% in January, hitting levels we haven't seen since 2001. Mortgage rates are still sitting above 7%, making it impossible for most working class people to buy a home. Meanwhile, home prices still way too high. Now, some people are hoping prices will start dropping, but that is not really happening. Sure, in some areas, prices have eased a little, but sellers are still holding out for big offers. And the crazy part, in Florida, real estate agents are literally refusing to take on new listings. Why? Because they already have too many homes sitting on the market that can't sell. And real estate agents even admitted they kept listing homes that were way overpriced, knowing they won't sell, and now they are stuck. But let's be real, this isn't just a Florida problem. Inventory is rising in a lot of places, but buyers just hasn't beaten because affordability is at an all-time low. And here's the thing, this isn't just a fluke. It's not just about bad luck or cold weather in January. This is a long-term crisis that's been brewing for years. If you don't own a home already, it's like the system is making sure you will never. The system is working exactly as intended. A lot of people are starting to realize that this isn't just a market correction, this is the system working the way it was designed. Housing isn't treated like a basic human need, it's a commodity, it's a way for the wealthy to make money. Investors and corporations have been buying up homes like crazy, renting them out and pushing prices higher so everyday people can't compete. One viral comment summed it up perfectly. The system isn't broke, it's working exactly as intended. If housing was affordable, landlords wouldn't make as much money. If you never own a home, you stay stuck renting forever. And if you are always paying rent, you are always working, always desperate, and always dependent on the system. That is a brutal take, but it's hard to argue against because let's look at what is happening now. Rents are going up. Home prices are staying high and wages hasn't keeping up. People are being forced to accept that home ownership might just be out of reach forever. And instead of doing anything to fix this, the government keeps letting it happen. Now let's shift to the job market because this isn't where things get even worse. The job market is cracking. Unemployment claims just shot up to 242,000 in 1 week. That is the highest since October 2024. The government is cutting jobs like crazy, especially under the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, which has already slashed tens of thousands of jobs. More layoffs are expected. And it's not just government jobs, construction jobs are taking a massive hit too. Job openings in construction just saw the biggest drop in history. In 1 month, they fell nearly 40%. The last time we saw a drop like this, it was back in 2007, right before the housing market crash. Let that sink in. When home builders stop hiring, it means they don't see demand in future. And if they don't see demand, that means that housing market could be in a serious trouble. Now, why is all this happening? High interest rates play a huge role. The Federal Reserve jacked up rates to slow down inflation, but now it's hitting the job market hard. Businesses are cutting costs, not hiring, and in some cases laying people off. And with tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China set to kick in soon, the cost of everyday goods is about to go up even more. So we are looking at the situation where jobs are disappearing, the cost of living keeps rising, people can't afford homes, and instead of fixing anything, government is making it worse. Where is this going? A lot of people are predicting that this is just the beginning of an economic downturn. We are keep hearing about possible rate cuts from the Fed, but now economists are so sure. Some say we might not get any rate cut this year. That means mortgage rates could stay high, home prices won't drop much, and affordability will stay out of reach. Meanwhile, inflation is still eating away at people's paycheck. Everything costs more: groceries, rent, gas, and utilities. And the sad reality is wages hasn't risen fast enough to keep up. If the job market keeps weakening, we are looking at a real recession, not just a cool down. And let's not forget, we still have the student loan crisis, medical debt, and credit card debate hitting record highs. People are being squeezed from all sides. What can you do? Honestly, there hasn't many easy solutions here, but one thing you can do is take advantage of any government assistance program that you qualify for. And I know a lot of people don't like the idea of relying on benefit, but one person put it perfectly. You or please make sure you are using government help if you need it. It's okay. It doesn't mean you are poor. It means you are getting the help you deserve. Go check your local housing authority website. See if you are qualified for rent assistance. Don't let pride stop you from getting help if you need it. Because the reality is a lot of people are struggling right now. The housing market is locked up. The job market is weakening, and everyday people are getting squeezed. Some believe we are heading for another 2008 style crash, while others think this is just the new normal where only the rich get to own homes and everyone else gets stuck in a never-ending cycle of renting and struggling. Either way, something has to change, but until it does, we have to look out of ourselves. Stay informed, be smart with your money, and don't be afraid to use the resources available to you. That is it for today. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. What do you think? Is this just a temporary downturn, or is this system rigged against us for good? Let me know your thoughts, and I will see you in the next one.